Hi, my name's Mike and I own a company in South Jersey called I Can Fix That, and today I'm going to show you how to repair the hybrid battery pack in a second-gen Toyota Prius. Make sure you take all the necessary safety precautions because these batteries, when operating correctly, operate at 220 volts DC and they could kill you to death if you're not careful. I'm going to be changing or repairing a battery pack in a 2007 Toyota Prius. Hopefully the camera gets the whole car here. I'm going to show you the whole process. It's going to be a one take. There might be some profanity. Who knows how this is going to work. But hopefully you're going to get the video footage of the whole process. So my cousin's daughter called me from Virginia and she said that she was having trouble with her Prius. And I don't know if you can look on the dashboard there and see the triangle of death in there. That's usually a pretty clear indication that there's a problem with the battery pack in these cars. Just see how this video looks here. So there you can see the triangle of death up there on the screen. So I already scanned the car, but I'm going to show you what I did. Just kind of, and any scan tool will probably pick this up, but I'm going to be using Toyota's TechStream here. This is the actual factory software that, you know, if you go to the dealer, this is what they use. Alright, so if you look here, hybrid control and the HV battery are really the things we're focused on right now. All the other codes, the ones in the ABS and stuff, are related to faults in the battery. The ABS system sees a problem in another system, and it trips those codes. So not really terribly anything to be concerned about. We're going to focus on the HV battery right now. And you can see replace hybrid battery pack, battery block 12, 13, and 14. So based on what I'm seeing here, I'm assuming that it needs 3 cells. So I ordered 3 cells and I actually got them on Amazon.com. These things were 40 bucks each. Kind of start pulling some stuff out. We're going to need to access the battery pack. The battery pack is back in here behind the rear seat. It's actually not too hard to get to. But you got to pull some stuff out to get to it. It's wonderful that the car's not all full of stuff. How many times you go to work on a car and it's got everybody's entire life in it. Alright, so I'm going to need, looks like a 10 and a 10 to get those out. I think, yeah, they're going to have to come out. And this should be it, and then this should just clip up here somewhere. There we go. Then I'll fold the seats down, give ourselves a little bit extra access here. You guys can hear the fan running for the battery. Here, let me undo this and you can hear it. That noise there is the fan running for the HV battery. That's usually a pretty clear indication. And it's pretty cold in here. It's probably maybe 55 or 60 degrees. I got the heater going, but it's not warm yet. That fan normally, I barely hear it run. I have a 2010 and I barely ever hear my fan run unless it's a really hot day out. Alright, get these out. There. See what's involved in getting this guy out. Velcro like mine, yeah. Velcro. Velcro. Should slide back and slide up. There's that fan running. So gotta stay. That. We got holding this in. There we go. Boom. Got it. Push clips. No problem. We'll pull those out and insert them like that. See, one goes there. Looks like one goes there. They just stuck in the battery pack. And this here is actually the HV battery pack. So what do we got to do to get this out? Wow, really got to do some disassembly here, it looks like. Pull these panels out. Get this out of here. Thing come out.
over here. Turn the car off. Pull the key out. That in there, and at the end we're going to go back in with that tool and clear the code. So in the Prius, the regular 12-volt battery that gets the car started is actually right here. It does have a regular 12-volt battery to sort of initiate, get the car started, and all the rest of the accessories in the car run on 12 volts. And it has an inverter and a transformer to take the high voltage and turn it down into 12 volts for the rest of the car to use. Snake that in there, get the battery off. Looking good for that. I need a 10mm wrench to get the other one out. I may not actually need to undo that. I get the positive off. Let's take the negative off just to be safe. A little bit overkill, but we'll do it anyway. Trick here. There's that. All right, so it looks like the sport's going underneath the side panels. We're going to pull some trim out back here. It's kind of unfortunate. A lot of times that's a project, but we're going to do it anyway. Let's see what we got here. Pull up. Believe me, it sounds worse than it is, just the way it sounds. All right. Trim. 10mm over here. Out. Let's get these. Pull this clip here. Go. I fully expect to break a clip here somewhere. Plastic is brittle when it gets old. We might get lucky. There we go. Everything's popping out real nice. Bring that forward. Belt out of the way. This panel should pull out. There we go. Boom. And it should be pretty much the same operation on the other side. You can see all the ducting. This is the fan that was running for the HV battery. This pulls air across it and then back into the car to keep the HV battery cool, because it can get hot on hot days, especially high load situations, driving a car hard. Get a light here. Get that clip out. I don't give you much room with that. There we go. I should get it. There we go. See it up. Looks like we're in it to win it. see, bottom out here. And now the seat just lift up and out. Should. Those clips there, I just kind of put a screwdriver far under and gave it a tug. I was really afraid of breaking the clip, but we didn't, so we're good. Holds it back there. There we go, boom, out. Put that over there. And let's see. Do the seat backs have to come out? We will find out. It's a big bolt for a plastic panel. I'm not going to use too many air tools here. I'm trying to simulate what it would be like for most guys to do it. I have the full complement of, but there we go. Get that out. This should just come. There we go. Beautiful. Knock the camera down. This guy over here. All right, you can see all the brackets that hold it in. Cooling duct. Should be able to just get the duct right out. We'll pry that up. Pry that guy up. Let me just get under it and see. Yeah, it's just a regular push clip. I have a panel tool. It's out in my car and it's snowing outside. So it's going to stay out in my car. And this should just lift up. Got a little relay there, it looks like. Let's get this out of the way. Let me just do a cam alignment check here. Make sure I'm getting everything I want to get here. Yeah, that should be good. At some point my tablet's going to die. The battery's less than good. I don't know how long the camera's going to make it, so I may be taking a break from the repair here while the GoPro recharges and I empty the drive. All right, there's that. So looks like a 12, could be a 12 or a 13. Get those out. Actually, here's key. This is something we got to do before we do anything else. This is the battery interlock here. This is a two-step thing. This burns a lot of guys. So this lifts up and then it comes out. So a lot of times when I go to a shop to repair a or actually do any work, I'll get a call, we've got a light on or something crazy going on. The shops always pull these out. This is a fuse and a safety. They'll pull this out if they're going to weld on the car or do anything like that. And when they put it back in, they fail to do this. Where do we go? They just close it and they think they're done, but you have to do this too. It's a two-step thing. Close, shove. That's, if it's open like that, it's going to say that there's a problem on the dashboard with the HV battery system. All right, so now we take this out. We're safe. That's disconnected from the car. Put this over here too. And let's get these brackets off so that we can get the battery out. I'm probably going to need help lifting it out. The battery is 117 pounds. Don't anybody tell you it's 600 pounds. It's not. It's 117 pounds. It's just not that big. These cars are actually pretty reliable. This is supposed to be a pretty unusual failure, but they're getting old. I mean, this car now is 2017. This car's 10 years old, has 187,000 miles on it, something like that. And generally, they're pretty reliable. Actually, these cars have the lowest cost of maintenance of any car there is to own. So despite their complexity, they don't generally screw up. Let's see where else that bolts on here. Looks like I could do an extension. Or maybe not, I don't know. Let's see, what do we got there? There it is right there. I'm gonna try and do that. I just knocked my camera again. I'm gonna try and do this without pulling the seats out. I don't know if it's gonna be that easy. Here, there. All right, what's involved here? Okay, so it looks like I could take this off and this off, and the back should slip out. Looks like just 2 bolts. I'll do the seat belt from the seat, otherwise we'll be wrestling it. There we go, that's better. Got that. Hopefully it's just, there we go. Boom. And the seat comes out. What do we got hanging up here? Seat belt. We're not unbolting that. We're just gonna sit it forward. For our purposes, we don't need the seat out of the car completely. We're just looking to get to that. That socket, we'll leave that socket there. Pull the other seat out. Probably need to get to that too. So we got a couple other bolts holding it in. Looks like we've got here, that bracket there, that bolt there. Alright. I felt like shooting that fire at the air tools and blast these all out of here in a minute. That bracket. Set her there. Uh-oh. There it is right there. I don't want to drop things into oblivion. Trying to sort of do this video sloppy mechanics style for any of you guys that watch Sloppy Mechanics channel on YouTube or anything like that. I like watching his videos. He does a lot of LS swap stuff. You can see I got an LS motor there, an LS motor there. An LS engine and trans over there, complete wiring harness and all. Going to be going in that DeVille up there. One of them. Actually, I don't even think the engine's going in. It's here. That's at a machine shop getting built. That's going to be pretty slick when it's done. Another bracket out. These are the high voltage battery cables. You see that? We're going to be real careful when we work in there. I'll show you that in a minute. Loosen these up just so I'll leave a couple in it. I've never actually taken one of these out. So I'll pull the cover off to disconnect the cables. I'm going to put some rubber gloves on and some leather lineman gloves just to protect myself. The battery is like around 200 volts and it'll bite you good. It's DC, and unlike household AC current, which kind of throws you, DC grabs you and holds you, so it'll kill you to death. Got another duct we're gonna have to take out. Just looking, I got a clip here. It looks like it goes, shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna set up a table. We're gonna rebuild the battery on the table over there. Show you how to take the bus bar off without killing yourself. This fella here, so we can get this out. Yeah, I know that there's panel tools and I have them. I'm not going out in the snow to get them out of the other car though. Should give us enough to get it out of the car. All right, so we left off. I got to take off the cover here, disconnect the communication lines and the power, and then we should be able to lift the battery out. I might need to pause the camera and go get somebody to help me lift it. 117 pounds doesn't sound like much, but I think it's in an awkward position and I really am not interested in hurting myself. That's not budging that. Gonna have to brute force it a little bit. A little extension here. Should do the trick. Okay, I broke that loose. Boom. Boom. These two here. All right. As soon as I get this cover off, I'm going to survey what's going on here. And then I have rubber gloves and leather lineman gloves I'm going to put on. Just tell you the lay of the land here. I don't want to kill myself in the name of a Prius. That's for sure. So here's how I want to do this. I'm going to try and double up on the protection here. I got rubber. I know some people say you don't need to do this, but man, this is my first go around with one of these. I don't think I can be too safe. Some sort of ground strap. Gotta make sure that goes in, and that was down and touching these. All right, and it looks like we got a couple of 10 mils here. One here, one here. We'll disconnect those, and it looks like we gotta get something here. Oh, maybe not. Probably leave that in place for now. A 10 there and a 10 there, and then we'll get the HV wires out of the way. not a 10. 8 maybe. Camera's getting this. Okay. Let's use that, hopefully, to hold this, get perfect out of the way. All right. Should be safe to lose the gloves at this point. I'm just going to do this connector, this one, and pull this harness out of the way, free it up from the case. Yeah, let's do that. It just pushes there. None of this stuff is high voltage. All the high voltage stuff is there. This is just all the control stuff. This is actually the battery pack controller here. All right. And then try and get this guy out. What is holding that little tab there? Get clever. Maybe this will push it in for me. There we go. It's free there. This and this guy here. All right, that's free. Now, the only thing we got to do, a couple bolts on the front. I'm going to put that cover back on just for safety's sake, because I know I don't want to go in and ask somebody to help me lift this thing. I don't want anybody welding themselves to a car. That one. All right, somebody tell me where I put the stuff. There it is. There. We'll do one. Just there for now. And safe, so we got to get this guy out. I think there's one more. I may have left two. This is possible. I only left one. That, and I think the battery should be free. HV wires are undone, communication lines are all undone, vent is undone. All right, a little stiction holding it down. All right, let's see if we can lift this ourselves. Looks like I can get this. I'll put these leather gloves on because that sucker's sharp. Out of the way. I'm going to set the battery right there and rebuild it right there on that table. Alrighty, there we go. It's not too bad. One person can do it. I'm not the strongest guy in the world. And I got it out. Proof. One guy can move a Prius battery. They're not 600 pounds. 6, 7, 28. Sure enough, there's 28. And somewhere in this pack, there are 3 bad cells. Each one of these is a cell. And we're going to be finding the bad one, and we're going to be putting this in to replace it. You can see the battery cooling system right here. You saw how it had fans and all that were plugged in. The battery kind of came in here, and here it pulls air down through the batteries, brings them, or I guess that's probably vapors that go out here, and then it pulls air through the batteries. You can see how it's got these to separate everything. Get a closer look at that. It's got the ridges here and these little things. Probably add surface area to help cool the battery. But the shady thing that you need to be careful of here are the bus bars right here. You touch this side, you touch that side, you're getting the full current of the battery through you. So you need to be careful. From this point forward, very careful. Once we get the bus bars off, the individual cells are going to be safe. Here, even it gives you a warning right here. Look, go over to the other side and read it. Touching may result in an electric shock causing injury or death. All right. So we're going to put the rubber glove on. These are fairly thick rubber gloves. Okay, look what we got here. Screwdriver here, just pull those tabs. Okay. Alright, so I had taken a little break here, but while I wasn't videoing, I went with the voltmeter and I measured the voltage on all the individual cells here. And there was 2 that were noticeably out of range. This one in particular is 6.6 volts. Everything else was like 796, 797, 798, somewhere around there. So my scan tool told me I needed 3 cells. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the ones with the 3 lowest voltage. I'm going to take that guy there. I'm going to take 7.6 right here. And then we have another 7.6 here. I'm going to say they're the 3 cells that are probably acting up, and they're the ones I'm going to replace. So what I need to do is I have to get these rubber tubes off for the vent system. I need to bolt the batteries all bolt in from underneath. You can see here. So I got to go undo those. Take these end caps off and then separate back. This one obviously is going to be a piece of cake. This one won't be too bad either, but that one guy there, we're going to have to, well, even that probably won't be too bad. So I'm going to go separate it right now. Looks like we need a 12 millimeter. We're going to just pull these just lift off, I believe. Yeah, there we go. They just lift off. So we're going to lift those out of the way. These are just vapor tubes. off of here. On the other side, seems to work better that way. Okay, that went that way. Right there. What else do we need here? So we got to get these out and these out. Get the meter out of the way here. Okay, you know what? Let me just give you a quick example. I'll show you how I measured it. DC voltage, I went on the 20 volt. I just went across the batteries, like the terminals like this. And see how that one's just showing 7.6 volts, and that's what I marked there. This one's showing, oops, should still be 798, 797, 790, there we go. So I'm just going to replace the three that have the lowest numbers on them. Boom, boom, boom. You can see the bolts there. We're going to have to be pulling probably most of them out. We're going to do this end one first. So we're going to need a 12 millimeter, it looks like. I think I had one here in the back of the car. There it is. Alright. Got 10 there. I'd like to liberate that a little bit. I'm not sure what's holding that in place. A little something there, so you give it a little pry action. See if we can get that to move. There we go. This is going to be tight going back together. I can see that now. We'll get it figured out. Yeah, okay, there's a couple pegs here on the bottom that were underneath the batteries. That was what was holding us up. I don't know if you can see those there. So, yeah, got to be aware of those when you put it back in. Maybe we could just hang it off the edge a little bit. Let's try that. Yeah, I think that's going to be the hot ticket there. And then we'll swing it around when we do this one and this one. We'll swing around, let the other end hang off. So this should work. So we're going to get here. There's an 8mm bolt underneath there. Keep in mind, this is my first time doing this. I'm kind of fumbling my way through it here a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see my experience, and maybe it'll save you some time doing your own. There it is, bolts out. Taking this cell, there it is, look at that. What do we got there? Let's take a look at the other battery and see what that, just see what that's all about. Maybe that's just battery temperature. Don't know, there's no contact on it. Got a screwdriver in there and just pry that tab up. Don't break it. Yeah, we didn't break it. One bad cell, 7.6 volts. You're out of here. So which way did that guy go? That guy went this way. Screw holes over there. Put this thing in place here like it was. I know I'm probably making the most boring video in the world. I'll get better as I go, promise. Alright. And then one screw goes in under here. Run that fella down. Alright, that's that one. Now we're going to spin it around. We're going to do this one and this one. It weighs so much on that end that it's going to hold the thing up, so it's not going to be an issue. Hopefully not. See if I can get this out, get that out. Oh, this is going to be, this might actually suck on this side. I think I'm going to have to undo every one of those things. Slide the whole thing down. Because, does this controller come out easy? The 10 there. Alright, looks like I can separate this whole side piece here with a 10. Pull these cables off and everything. Let's do that. Doesn't look too bad. This here, this here. Loose there, and then it looks like a 10 here. This guy here. And maybe yeah, it looks like that one right there in the corner. There you go. See that guy down there? Alright, she's gonna fight us a little. 1/4-inch ratchet, where'd I throw that? Anybody remember? Good thing I had 50 of them. All right, got the controller and all the cabling out of the way. We'll just set it there on the floor. And that exposed the end of the battery for us. That way we don't have to take the whole pack apart. I mean, I guess I could have just unbolted them all and slid the thing down and Maybe you guys can tell me what you've done. Save me a little time next time around. Of course, I really think that if my Prius gets to this point, I'll probably just trade it in. I think I'd like to do a RAV4 hybrid. I'd really like to do a Tesla. I think that'd be kind of cool for doing what I do. We shall see what the budget for 2017 holds for me. See what I'm doing here. Get down a little further here. Extension might help a little bit. I think if we loosen the battery up, I don't need that. That was ridiculous, wasn't it? I loosen this end one, we're replacing it anyway. Alright, there's that. Oh, well, that was silliness. I guess we can just let that hang. Boom. There's that. There's two. I'll get the cells here. You can see right here, that's how I ordered them from, HV Hybrid Parts. Actually found them on Amazon. 40 bucks each. Thought that was quite a good deal. Get this one out. Better there. Actually, it would probably make sense if we unbolted these three, actually these four, that way I can have access to that one too. We'll just slide these guys out of the way and we'll pull that one up and out. Put this under there. Careful not to kick this and break the wire. You know what? I'm not going to be a ding-dong about this. All right. Getting this end cap back on was a struggle. What I wound up having to do, because there's this bar that runs underneath, I actually had to take off screws for about 6 or 7 batteries on each side all the way back, lift it up, and I was able to get it to drop in and get these screws started. That was tricky. So be prepared to undo a few of these. You'll see that there's a little, there's tabs on like flanges on this side of these poles that line up with these dimples, and you got to get them in or it's just not going to work. So that's going to be a pain. I should have documented that for you too, but I was struggling so much that I couldn't multitask, I guess. All right, next part. Got that end on. I want to put this end on now. I may wind up having to loosen up, you know, a few batteries on this end too to lift the whole pack so I can slide it down over that, because this doesn't really want to slide nicely. Now, you know what? I might be able to do it with this one. Maybe. Let's see. All right, that end is done. Be prepared for a struggle with the ends, unless you just flip the battery pack over and undo all the bolts, which maybe I could have done, maybe I should have done. Have any of you ever done that? Let me know. You give yourself enough room, you can lift the end of the battery up and slide the end cap on. I think that's going to be enough. Let's see. Now we're going to undo some more. Pull it out a little further. I really don't know whether you can see all this. I'm just going to edit the hell out of this video. I didn't think I was going to have to, but I'm probably going to have to. Ugh. Boom, that wasn't too bad there. Slide it back. Get the bolt started. Oh, there it is. It's all the way over there. I need to kill him. Well, guess what? GoPro battery's dying again. All right. All right, after another dead GoPro moment, I couldn't wait, so I put the battery pack in the car. We reassembled it and set it back in the car. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn the car on, we're gonna fire up the computer, and hopefully we're not gonna see any codes in this car. Right now, you see that? Bam, look at that. It's out. I call that a win. Let's get this fired up here. Engine comes on, does what it's supposed to do. Boom. The smart key. Next. I would call that a clean bill of health right there. Hybrid control is clear, HV batteries clear, engine and ECT are clear, and the air conditioner code only has to do with the fact that the solar sensor, because I'm inside, it's in the garage, the solar sensor is not picking up heavy duty sunlight. It's fine, it's a normal code. No codes anywhere in this car.
Alright, so you can tell I had a little bit of camera trouble because I'm a novice at this. The battery went dead and I had to keep plodding along because we were hours into the project. But all said and done, it took about 5 hours for me to do it while recording. I think if you were to keep your head to it, you could do it in a lot less time. So I didn't record putting the car back together, but it's the reverse of taking it apart, so I think you guys will be okay with that. Any questions or comments, feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thanks for watching.